Independent facilitation and planning is helping someone to look to the future and what their life will look like in the future, how they want it to look like. Also, it's about how they will participate in their community, how they'll be a part of their community. And also about those things that really mean something to them, the things that they're passionate about, the things they're excited about, how they're going to make those a part of their life if they want them to be. Facilitator has been, I would say, a joy. I have to just say that up front because I think it is a joy and an honour to be able to share in someone's dreams, share in someone's hopes for their future, share in someone's life for a little time. I think the relationship building has been wonderful and is an absolute essential part of it. Getting to know someone, getting to know who they are, where they've been, what they've done, what they would like to do. It's just a very rich experience. It can also be an experience that has to be very flexible. Going with the flow is very important. I think we have our plans and our set agendas and we sort of go forward with those, but once we meet with someone and once we meet with the people surrounding them, we start to move forward in a different way than we planned. As an independent planner and facilitator, relationships are hugely important. To gain a mutual trust, to find out the things that people are really interested in, about their lives, about where they've been, where they've come from, where they would like to go. That really is about relationship. And once the relationship begins to develop, the whole experience becomes more solid, more full, more generally exciting. And I think it's a very special honour as a facilitator when that happens. And certainly my experience has been that sometimes I can be moving perhaps from meeting to meeting and then feeling perhaps nothing is happening, and suddenly a trigger goes off, a bell rings, a mutual sort of coming together occurs, and I know then relationship is happening. And it's a very rewarding thing, I think, mutually. There are certainly roles that a facilitator has. I think one of the main roles is that we walk alongside someone and we help to, I was going to say set the scene, but it's more about fertilizing the soil for ideas to grow. I think as an independent facilitator, we are about growth and we're about someone being able to grow and develop. And I think that's one of the roles, is to allow that to happen, to provide a venue for that to happen and flourish, for someone to flourish. I think another important role is about helping the individual to build networks and to be able to be a part of other people's lives, other things that are happening, and to help them build that bridge so that their whole network becomes a lot bigger. And really we're there in the background. We're not the person directing this scene, but we're helping the individual to direct their own scene of making that network happen. The independent facilitator and community is very important. I think it's really important for an independent facilitator to know community and to be able to have that internal map almost, or internal sort of bag of tricks that you can pull upon, which is your community bag, and be able to offer up suggestions, or oh, I know a place where that might be able to happen. I wonder if you might like to investigate that. It's about being an independent facilitator when you're not actually in the role too, because constantly an independent facilitator is developing their own community so that they can share that with others. I would certainly make a point of saying that this was a journey together, and but also led by the person. It is the person's journey, but of course rarely do we journey alone. Even if we are on our own, there are always people alongside or behind us or in front of us, and so I think it's really important to show that that will happen too. I think it's also important that this is the work of the individual who's doing the plan or the journey themselves into their future. I think it's important too that we talk about thinking about what life will be, how they would like life to be, and how we can make that happen. Happen in a way that is realistic, but still encompasses the passions and the excitement that they have about things, and trying to incorporate that as well. I see that is that we always look to a person's gifts, to their talents, to the things they bring, to the things they contribute. We all contribute in some way, and it's very important that the facilitator listens intensely, just waits for those gems to come forward, because they will. And I think it ties in too with relationship. As your relationship builds, these little things come forward and wow, that's their gift, or wow, you bring that to this group and everyone notices it. How do people see you when you come into the room? Oh, that's what you bring to us. Those are the things I think we look at when we look at strengths-based and at basing it just on people's own talents and gifts. Sometimes it is appropriate to use tools in the work as an independent facilitator. Some of the tools that I have used have been things such as a community map, whereby we'll look at the person, ask the person, who is in your community? Who is in your community? Where do you go? What do you do there? What's the connection with you and the people in your community or the groups in your community, with school, with college, with any of those things, so that we can see where they fit within their own community at that point in time. That may well help sort of thinking down the road as to where there might be gaps, where there are things that the person might wish to change. Other tools might be a relationship map to see who is in the community, who is in that person's circle, who they are close to, who they have a strong relationship to, who they might have a weak relationship in some areas, but in another area they would definitely go to that person. That can be really helpful to see who can also come by to help this person complete their action, to do what they want to do. And we get a sense then together of who can be in that person's network circle in different ways.